Hi there folks. In this tutorial, we're going to be taking a look at the sometimes forgotten project on mesh feature found in the floor grid options of Zbrush, and how we can use that to our advantage when we're matching a model to reference. The first thing I want to do is turn on my floor grid, and I'm going to make sure that I've got the X, Z, and the Y axes activated. We're going to double click on the left hand side of the divider here so that we can open up the left hand shelf. We're then going to go to the draw menu, going to click and hold on the icon in the top left and drag that over to the side of the UI. And then that way we can access our settings a bit easier. Next, we're going to go into the left right options here, click on map 1, and we're going to load in this previously imported boot reference. And if I now zoom out, you'll notice that our grid has now changed to accommodate to the size of our reference image. I'm going to turn off the perspective mode, and now I'm going to resize my reference image by changing the scale to 0.5, and then I'm going to change the scale of my boot so that it matches up as closely as possible. Now, this is just as an example. There will be instances where you cannot change the size of your base model. So in that case, you would have to just change the size of your reference image. Now, obviously, I can't see my reference image through the model. To do that, I can turn on the front option here. That will give us an X-ray mode. Or we can simply change the fill mode to 3. And that's going to do both. It's going to give us the X-ray mode, and it's going to increase the opacity of the reference image just to make it a little bit easier to see. Now we can go ahead and start to match our model to the reference. So we go into the brush menu, tap M to open up the move brushes, and I'm going to choose move infinite depth. Now I can simply start to match my model to the reference, but we can take this one step further by using the project on mesh feature. So if we go back to the settings, we're going to go to this slider here and just drag that from 0 to 1, and you'll see that reference image now projected onto the model, which is going to make lining up the edges all the more accurate. The additional benefit of this is that if you're using the Z Modeler brush, you can use the project on mesh feature. By lowering the value, we can now start to add in edge looping or change the model as needed. So for example, I can go in and add another edge loop down here so that I can outline where the zip section is going to go, or I can go into this section here. I can use my move topological brush and I can start to realign my edge loops so that they match up better with the stitching on the toe of the model. So there we go, folks. That's a quick look at the project on mesh feature and how useful it can be for increasing the accuracy of matching a model to reference. Hopefully that's been helpful, folks, and I'll speak to you again in the next video.